Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Police find 3 rifles, 4 handguns at Montego Bay Wharf. Lawmen assigned to the St. James Police Division were kept busy at the Montego Bay seaboard on Monday evening as they seized some 7 firearms and multiple rounds of ammunition. According to a reliable source, the guns were detected during a routine inspection by members of the Jamaica Customs Agency and the police. So far, reporters have learned 4 handguns, 3 high-powered rifles, 9 magazines, and 3 rounds of ammunition have been seized. They were found hidden and dismantled inside 3 television sets, another well-placed source revealed. The police are investigating. Buff Bay River claims another life. 2 people lost their lives in the Buff Bay River in Portland over the weekend, making it 3 tragic incidents in a week in Buff Bay area. On Saturday, about 2 p.m., 18-year-old chef Mario Grant of Lorna Hill, St. Andrew got into difficulties while swimming in the Buff Bay River in the Core Village area of Plum Valley and drowned. According to reports, Grant was among a group of visitors who went to Buff Bay for a picnic at the river. They were having fun with food items from the picnic laid out on the table when Grant drowned. Just over 24 hours later, 50-year-old Lucille Coleman, a social worker of South Carolina in the United States, was in the river when she ran into difficulties. It is understood that Coleman slipped on a stone and fell and was unresponsive. She was taken to the Onoto Bay Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Coleman had arrived in the island the day before the tragedy and was staying with her common-law husband Robert of Tranquility, Portland. Observer readers defend BPO industry. Jamaica Observer readers had defended the business process outsourcing (BPO) industry, telling employees who had complained to the newspaper about working conditions that the sector is not as bad as they are saying. Last Monday, the Observer reported BPO employees complaining of unfair treatment by employees, poor work condition, and salary alterations, which they said have put their mental health at risk. But leaders in the industry dismiss the claims and argue that the sector has increased employment, focuses on the well-being of employees, and heavily abides by Jamaican labor laws. Responding to the story, Kemar Jackson posted on Instagram, "It is hard work and it is mentally draining to take back-to-back calls all day. Can there be bad employers? Absolutely, but that applies to every job, even church. You have to find some sense of fulfillment from knowing that what you are doing will make a difference in somebody's day. Let's not leverage the BPO industry. Jamaica would go into a recession if they are all closed tomorrow." Another Instagram post under the name page said, "Working at a BPO is not for everyone. Some actually think it's a walk in the park. I would never work in the banking industry, manufacturing as well. You just need to find something that you are comfortable with. I really don't want to hear there is no other job. Some of you that are complaining love things hand-delivered to you too much. Get yourself qualified, search, do online courses, and move towards your goal quietly." Freddie, who commented on the Observer's online page, said, "Still better than no work at all, or sitting at home having a whole lot of children, or being dependent on a man who abuses." Another user stated on the online page, Mike Graham, that the problem is that jobs like these are only supposed to be beginning point in a career, not a career, unless you climb the ladder regularly. Another Instagram user, Sima J, added, "What I see people doing daily is complaining about the same job that feeds them to an extent but does not have to elevate themselves. It is modern-day slavery because you are failing to understand how the business runs. Performance is always key. It's either you have the will or skill. A lot of persons don't have either but will complain that the work is hard." While on Facebook, Phyllis Sutherland wrote, "Employees appreciate their jobs and see the remuneration as competitive. I understand also that these jobs carry some fair enough benefits. With that said, employers need to respect that even though they invest their money to make a profit without good workers, it would not be possible. There are many other industries outside of BPO where management disrespect workers just the same. A healthy working environment is one in which there is mutual respect between employees and employers. They need each other to survive." Another user on Facebook, James Palmer, added, "If you don't want the job, it's simple. Leave it. I am in no way advocating for low wages, but no one is forcing anyone to work for them." This was the same narrative that was used to destroy the garment industry between 1989 and the early 90s. On Twitter, Samantha Kelly posted, "Not all BPOs are bad. I work at one for 5 years, going on to 6, and it's very good. Nothing is perfect, but the money is better than most jobs in the country right now, and it has helped me a lot, so I guess it depends on the company you work for." Twitter user Michael added, "There are two sides to this coin. A lot of people are able to put themselves in a better position than they were in when they started, help pay tuition, build their homes." Chief Justice rejects alleged gangsters' informal evidence. The prosecution on Monday hit a roadblock in its attempt to have information previously withheld by a police witness accepted as evidence in the trial of 33 alleged members of the One Don faction of the Klansman gang in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston. It was revealed that since 2014, Owen Osby, one of the accused, have been feeding a police corporal with information on the names of main players and some of the inner works of the gang. The corporal told the court on Monday that he was given instructions in 2019 to apprehend a wanted man off the Stegoville Main Road as part of the gang investigation. Upon carrying out the instructions, the cop said he was arresting a man he recognized as Mikey, who was identified in court as Osby. The corporal took him into custody but failed to share the information about his dealings with Osby to investigators. In fact, he told the court that he came forward with the information in late 2021. The prosecution tried to convince the court that the corporal could be crucial to the case because of the wealth of information he possessed. However, Chief Justice, who is presiding over the trial, comprehend why the corporal did not come forward with the information until long afterwards. The witness, in response, claimed he was deterred by the quick pace at which investigations elevated to trial stage. But Chief Justice said, "At this point now, I would be hard-pressed to justify reception of this evidence." The Chief Justice added, he says he didn't know that the gentleman was charged, but it must have come in his consciousness at some point. Even then, he doesn't go back to say, "No, I realize that the man is actually charged. Here is some information that I can give you." He doesn't do that, but he comes today as if it is a revelation arising, having spoken to him. I am not saying that it has to be in a statement, but it has to be in context. This is something that he had all that time. The Chief Justice then cleared the way for another police witness, a detective sergeant who said that in 2017 he performed duty as a forensic crime scene investigator. The investigator said one of his tasks at the time was to photograph graffiti on walls in alleged One Don territory in Spanish Town. A number of photographs were presented in court showing numerous walls painted with the word including One Don, Black Man, Team Proud Family, and PNP. Titchfield's debt to Mr. Ram. The Titchfield High School family is now celebrating the life of a stalwart of the institution, former teacher Subhas Ramakirat, affectionately called Mr. Ram, who died on January 25th. Mr. Ram was born in Ghana in 1944 and spent 19 years of teaching in his home country, where he held the post of deputy headmaster and head of a mathematics department before moving to Jamaica in 1982, where he taught mathematics and additional mathematics for another 23 years at Titchfield High School. In leading the tributes, the school's principal, Richard Thompson, said Mr. Ram wielded the weapon of education to effect undeniable changes in the lives of many. He epitomized, in every sense of word, what it meant to be committed. Mr. Ram lived his life giving selflessly towards that which he was passionate about, educating the nation's children, said Mr. Thompson. He noted that Mr. Ram joined the Titchfield High School family as a trained graduate in 1982, already holding the post of table leader of the C6 examination in mathematics, a post he maintained even after his arrival in Jamaica. According to Mr. Thompson, Mr. Ram was a true professional and a teacher of his very core, willing to go above and beyond the call of duty for his students. His fingerprints were embedded in several roles, including senior teacher and the head of the mathematics department, where he was instrumental in the organization and execution of workshops for his department, a task that he worked so assiduously at that in 1998, Teachfield High School was rated among the top 3 schools in mathematics in the island, said Thompson. On the stage of the school domination of the national math competition on several occasions, receiving first or second placements. He was also the head of Grade 2 Extension School, the supervisor of the Heart and STA Thrust program at Teachfield High School, and acting vice principal in 2005. He was instrumental in the developmental and the perfecting of the manual timetabling system, a version of which we still use today. Mr. Ram is fondly remembered by his colleagues as being a no-nonsense person. However, those who were in his department reflect warmly on the birthday parties they had at his house and the cultural exposure offers through the exotic cuisines he made for them. He loved cricket, he knew the game well, and could be counted on for the game updates. He especially enjoyed watching the live games at Sabina Park, said Thompson. The principal noted that Mr. Ram was never far removed from the Teachfield High School, as even in his latter days, he took the time to keep abreast of what was happening at the school. As we remember Mr. Ram, let us remember him for the shared moments and his immense impact on education. He was loved and will be missed. Today we mourn not the life of Mr. Ram, but celebrate his accomplishments and achievements. We praise him for the lives he has helped to transform and thank him for his contributions to the Teachfield community, the parish of Portland, and the development of education in this country. May his legacy live on and his soul rest in peace, said Thompson. 67 new COVID cases in Jamaica, 1 death recorded. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has reported 67 new COVID-19 cases and 1 death on Monday, February 28, bringing the infection total to 128,053 and total deaths to 2,814. The new cases comprised 35 females and 32 males, with ages ranging from 1 year to 94 years. The cases are recorded in St. James 14, St. Anne 12, Clarendon 10, Westmoreland 7, Hanover, St. Catherine and Kingston and St. Andrew 5 each, St. Mary and St. Elizabeth 3 each, Trelawney 2 and Manchester 1. The deceased is a 100-year-old male from St. Elizabeth who died in February 2022. There were 283 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing that total to 76,987. Currently, 121 people are hospitalized, 13 of which are severely ill, while 10 are critically ill and 30 are moderately ill. The Health Ministry has reported a positivity rate of 9%. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.